I'm not going to dwell too much on the history. I just want to give you a beginning point so you'll know where you're sitting at today. You have a lot more advantage than I did. So you should have a lot more money than I will ever have. You speak the language. There will be no discrimination against you, which nobody discriminated against me. If they did, I didn't care, as long as they did not deprive me of an opportunity. And I was never in my life deprived of an opportunity in this nation like I was deprived in my own country. Why? Because we have sectarian, religion, family, corruption where I come from. Because certain family controls certain industry, and if you're not part of that, you don't get it. Here, most companies don't give a damn where you're coming from. You have the knowledge, you have the solution, you're in. The only color they see, hopefully, mostly what I see, is green. You put green on the table, I don't give a damn what color you are. Period. So anytime I hear somebody complaining how racism or how they've been discriminated against, I always say, you don't have much really to offer. Because recruiters, loyal to their company, when they go searching, it'll be like when a miners go look for gems and rocks to find a diamond. They don't look bright and shiny, but it takes an expert to understand what's behind the dirt. So we're always looking for the person qualified. If you're running a capitalist-style company, not some backwood, foreign, with family member, and they're just ignorant, and that's why they stay small. So companies see green, they don't see color. And to prove my point, all these Silicon Valley now, they're fighting the government to bring what? More foreigners from India, from China, from anywhere they have a qualification to support those behemoth companies. So they don't see color, only ignorance see color. So having said that, I knew there's a lot of opportunity because most people in this country are comfortable. Have you guys been into a gathering like on Thanksgiving or going to a hotel or some places during the holidays and you don't see a lot of white people working or a lot of locals? What do you see mainly? Foreigners. Do you think because they love to work? Do you think because they were born to work? They don't like to celebrate and waste time like you do? No. They love. I was the biggest time waster ever born. I leave the home on Monday and I won't come back till Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, if that, because it was so much fun. Because there was an infrastructure of having fun. When you move something or someone from an entity, from a place that established all those relations, and you obligate them directly or indirectly with responsibility, then priority takes priority. Food and shelter, that's number one. John D. Rockefeller, one of the Rockefeller founder family, said, charity is injurious unless it will help the recipient independent of it. I've learned that really early in my days. What did that mean? When the system provide all safety nets for everyone, people become lazy. Because I wasn't qualified for anything, I had to leave the house. Even if I didn't have a job, but I had to leave the house. Because I have a kid, I have a wife, and I have two other brothers in communist nation universities. I have to send them money. And guess what? There is no money at the house. Every time I went somewhere, I found something to do and I brought money. even though I'm not supposed to work legally in the United States. Notice that? Other nations, you get arrested in 2 days. Not in this country. If you're working, you're keeping clean and straight, they want you. They want you. Now, how is that going to help you? Why is that so important? Because when I first walked in here, I said, how many millionaires do we have? Nobody raised their hand. How many people, how many of you at this point one day say, I would love to be a millionaire? Nobody? Just one? Okay. No, but it took like a delayed action response. You just thinking about it? Isn't that why you're seeking education and knowledge? Isn't it to produce money? If it's not for money, I don't know what you're doing. There's much more fun things to do. So, whatever you're doing now, whatever knowledge you're gaining, you're going to have to make sure that there is someone's going to be paying you for it one day. I mean, that's the hope of Dr. Gajan, that when he goes out of his way trying to find different ways to give you the best education, so when you go somewhere, they don't say, what the hell did they teach you in that school? It's his reputation on the line. That's why he go and think outside the box, not to teach you theory. He wants you to see what real life is all about. I may not be the perfect example, but I'm still an example, because life needs a lot more weapons for you to win. Only in this place, this university, if you do the right thing, you get result. In business, it doesn't apply 100%. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? You can do everything right. You can have the best product. You can have the best advertising. But that's not a guarantee to work. But here, if you study and you take the exam and you meet your obligation, you're going to get an A. And he doesn't only give one A. He's not saying, hey, class, there's only one A. One A. And I want you all to fight for it. You'll be studying day out, and most of you will not even make it. So there's A's to everyone if you meet this criteria. In business, we only have one client, me and the other competitor we're fighting for. This is the client. There is no other one. That's why it's called cutthroat. So there is no respect in business, make no mistake. It's a deadly sport. There is no mercy. This, courtesy and being nice, and people say, oh, I love competition. Any businessman who tells you I love competition, any businessman is the biggest liar I've ever met. It'd be like somebody, a geek or a dweeb, got engaged and he wants the Chippendale guys to bring to his bedroom and talk to his fiancée. No. Nobody likes competition. No. Nobody likes to share in the capital system, because we all have expenses and we need to make it. And we don't have that many clients. So, understanding that, and understanding poverty and the reason of poverty, I knew what poor people did back home, their habits, and I perfected it. I understood. And I studied what poor people do in this nation. I went different places where a lot of the poor people live and speak and socialize. If I have to make one determination, people who make excuses or people who mastered the making of excuses, they mastered the lack of making money. It is unbelievable. Until today, in my own organization, the person who makes the most excuses make the least amount of money. So please, anytime you encounter this, because we were born, most of us are lazy. Doing nothing is really comfortable. People who make the effort, not the excuses, they will live a very comfortable life. In the short term, it might be difficult. Now, did I apply those principles to me? Did I start this business just, I went to the bank and I got a loan? No. No, it's not easy. What happened if you walk into the bank tomorrow, ma'am? What happened if you go to the bank and ask for a $500,000 loan? What would they ask you for? What are you going to use it for? We're going to build a store.
Oh, what are you going to sell?
Jewelry.
What's your projected?
No, no, we passed that. Anybody have any idea what they ask for? Yes, sir. Number one word in the economic world. Collateral. What is collateral? Let's put it into easy term. Guarantee that the bank, you're not going to waste their money away. Well, I'm a college graduate, barely from Oklahoma State University. How many of you will have $500,000 worth of collateral to put against the loan? Do you? How many of you? Raise your hand right now. You got a $20 if you raise your hand. If anybody said $500,000 collateral in an asset, it doesn't have to be cash. Okay. All right. I can't pay. But what do we have in the United States that is available to you, me, and every monkey in this world? Credit. Right? This nation runs on credit. You know those credit cards that you guys abuse and use, whatever it is, and get you in trouble? That's the ticket in the United States. Dr. Gajan, would you like me to share with them about the credit cards, how it works? You want me to? Okay, all right. I understood early on there is a system called the credit system in the United States. It's not available in a lot of nations that I came from. In Lebanon, you want to buy a house, you have to write a check. You want to buy a car, you have to write a check. That's why we don't have anything. We inherit everything from our parents. We live miserably. All right? But you can walk into any dealership today, even with a minimum amount of job, you can get a car. It amazed me, this. So the credit card. And I learned a little bit about it. So how many of you have a credit card? Okay. All right. How many of you think you're going to have a great ideas that you can finance one day and start your own business? Okay. Just in case one day you're going to have a good idea. But what's stopping you from really selling it and make the big money is nobody believes in you. You're going to have money. So here a nugget that, very simple, how I started building money to open what I thought I'm going to do it. Because I did work shortly for a jewelry store during my restaurant work at the same time. And I discovered that there is money in that business and people being victimized every day by retail jeweler by lying to them, telling them it's on sale 70% off, and they marked it up 500%. I knew that. And I knew at the same time it's culturally the practice, if you want to get engaged as a man or as a woman to another man or a woman, you're going to have to buy an engagement ring, and mainly it has to be a diamond. So they know. They're going to get you. So they mark it up. So for a long, long time, people get victimized when they buy jewelry. Ask your dad, ask your grandfather, they tell you the same thing. Things have changed. But I picked on this almost 25 years ago. I went to this store owner and I said, look, I've been here for 2 weeks. And I'm seeing people coming in and you're telling them it's on sale and they're leaving. You're only selling about 10% if you're walking in business. Why don't we lower the price? Why don't we set up an entity that you own on the other side of town, your own competition, and sell it close to wholesale price? He thought I was an idiot. That was 28 years ago. He called me like I'm an idiot. Well, guess what? 5 years after this conversation, he was cussing me, calling me all kind of names, because he said I cost him his business. 5 years. But it wasn't easy. So, credit cards. I'm an Arab origin. The diamond industry in this nation is controlled by Israeli, which is Jews. And you do understand the camaraderie and the love between Arabs and Jews, right? So what would be my chances walking into a diamond office in New York, shaking hand with a rabbi, mostly rabbis, they sell diamonds, and say, I'm from the Middle East and from the other side of the fence? Would they give me any diamonds? No, that's not going to happen. But they're all after what? Money. So, speed up the process. I go to the bank. They usher you out in 2 seconds. I have no collateral. I get a credit card in the mail. That's $5,000, whatever at that point. But we needed to build the credit. I need to increase credit. So I'm waiting tables. I save $1,000. I'll put it in the saving account. I'll go back to the bank and say, loan me $900 against the collateral of how much? The $1,000. That's my money now. The bank money is guaranteed now, right? Now he got, yeah, okay, no problem. He doesn't even ask you what you're going to do with it. They don't care. Their collateral is locked. Interest is nothing because they're going to pay you they're going to charge you 1 to 2% over what they're paying you on the deposit, on the safe, whatever deposit that they're paying you. So it's nothing. So I take the loan for 60 days. I pay it back. It cost me $6 or whatever. That names gets reported that this man, this foreign guy, they don't know my picture, my name, he have a good history and habits of paying back a credit. Isn't that the essence of building credit in this nation? They want to see habits that you do pay your obligation back. Can anybody predict what happened if you do this for almost 6 months to a year? What do you think happened? Credit score jumps. And because they sell names with high credit score, because big companies that loans money in businesses, they want to know who's good. So suddenly you're going to see a flood of people offering you money. It's a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. Why is it double-edged sword if you get a lot of credit cards? What's going to happen? Anybody have any idea?
Credit score goes down after you get a lot of credit cards.
What is it?
Your credit score will go down after you get like 3 or 4 credit cards.
That's the least of my problems. People abuse them. They think it's their money, and they go on vacation, and they go buy a product that has no value in the future. They buy cars, they buy jewelry, they go out to dinner every night. They spend money they don't own. A credit card with high amount of credit is like a loaded gun. If you're not trained, you're going to shoot yourself. Period. I've always knew how to point that gun. This is not my money. So very simple. I don't have a place to sell jewelry. I don't have a client, but I knew that there is a demand for this. This is how the action started. Thank God for the United States. I built a credit. I sent money off the credit card, an advance is called, to a big company in New York. How did I know the name of this company? Very simple. I did not know a lot of references. I did not know big suppliers. So I had to do something a little bit unusual. I wanted to study the biggest guy or the biggest jewelry store in Tulsa. I want to know where they buy their stuff. Can I just go ask him? You think he will tell me? He won't tell me? Damn. Any idea how can I get information? Go work for them? They won't hire me. I tried. They did not give me a job because I didn't have a lot of experience at that point. Dumpsters. I love dumpsters. Back in the 80s, there was people used to put trash. Identity theft was not a big issue. People dump everything. When they get a diamond into a box, the label, it shows where it came from. So I needed information. Dumpsters. Remember when I said earlier it may border on illegal? But I'm a dumpster. Okay. So it's amazing what you find in dumpsters behind a business at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I had to camouflage a little bit so make sure I don't get caught. I dressed down. I poured some alcohol on me. So if I get somebody to talk to me, they think I'm looking for cans, and I had a bag that has a lot of cans, so I'm collecting cans, right? So that's the idea. And you locate names and addresses and what have you. Information. But nowadays, you don't have to do any of this because it's right in your hand. Now, getting clients. I didn't have any clients. I didn't have any place. Tulsa World. Classified ads. Back then, there was no Craigslist and none of that stuff. $25. Put a advertising for a specific diamond. I did not have that diamond. I get calls on it. And when people call me, they say, we would like to see a diamond. Oh, I'm sorry, it's sold. Remember when I said I sent money to the supplier in New York, but I didn't take any diamonds for it? So when they call me, like, why did you send us $20,000? Well, I'm going to be buying some diamonds in a couple of weeks. I just want to make sure you have your money. That's against everything that the business does. Most of the jewelers don't pay their bills. Okay? I knew that too. This is how you get attention. You do something completely different. So, first time I sold the stone, I picked up the phone. They sent me the stone. All right. I didn't have a place though. I didn't have money to go build a place yet. So I rented a place called Executive Suite, where you pretend to be your place, but you rent the office by hour. Per hour. They have a receptionist, they have a place, they bring you coffee, and you set up your place. You know, I used to decorate it in 10 minutes, put the pictures, your family picture, the dog and the flowers and whatever it is that you do. But you got to get your ass out because it's $50 an hour. If there is a will, there is a way, but it can only happen in the United States. That's how it started. $25 ad. And I believe in something. No, I did not need $500,000. And guess what happened 6, 8, 9 months down the road? The same Israeli that sold me the stone based on the $20,000 I advanced, he'll send me a package of $100,000 or $200,000. No question asked. I didn't give him any money. He never met me. He doesn't know me except on the phone. On the phone. Never met him. Would you want to send somebody $200,000 worth of merchandise? Would anybody does that in this world? That's what happened. So there is no magic. There is no, I'm smarter than you, or you don't have an opportunity. It's around you.